Brooklyn tells her grandmother that while she doesn't believe Lucy committed intellectual property theft on purpose, she agrees her antics have hurt the company. However, she wants to get back to music, and she can't see running Deception for the long run. Tracy has a compromise. She wants Brooklyn to stay at Deception a little while longer, and she can produce artists on the side. However, she believes Brooklyn will come to love working at the company. But if she still wants out, then she'll buy her out and give the stocks to Maxie. Brooklyn asks why it's important for her to run Deception. Tracy says it's something they can do together, and believe it or not, she's fun to work with, and she's the future of the family. Tracy also sees a bit of herself in Brooklyn. Brooklyn smiles and jokes with Tracy that she likes her. Tracy does. Brooklyn thinks she doesn't have to work at Deception for them to hang out, but she will take Tracy up on her offer. Brooklyn changes the subject and wonders what's going on between Tracy and Gregory. Tracy says he's taking Alexis to the wedding, and she was going to ask him to go with her, but she was too late. Brooklyn says according to Chase, Gregory is more at ease when around her, and she needs to be direct and tell Gregory she is interested in seeing him. Tracy says she'll take what she said into consideration. Tracy warns Brooklyn she may be like her, but she wears her heart on her sleeve, and that's dangerous. Brooklyn says Chase has her heart, so it's safe. At the warehouse, Sonny and Selena are discussing rebooting her poker games, and Ava jokes she didn't expect this to be a real meeting. Selena wants to make Curtis an offer for his club, but Sonny insists the Savoy is off limits. Suddenly, Anna and John, along with Chase and Dante and other officers, burst in, guns drawn, and order everyone to freeze. Sonny asks what is going on here. John says they are following up on a tip on racketeering. Selena says this is her warehouse, and they'll find nothing illegal here. She says they were simply discussing legal poker games, but Anna finds it odd to bring bodyguards to a discussion about poker games. On the roof, a man kneels over a skylight window and says it appears they are late to the party. He says he can still get the shot, and the camera pans to Jason. As John and Anna question Sonny and Selena below, the man with Jason aims his gun at Sonny. Back down below, Anna doesn't know why Sonny would waste his time in this crummy warehouse when he has a casino in Puerto Rico. Sonny thinks Anna is just embarrassed, as she came in guns blazing and found nothing. A shot rings out, and everyone scatters to corners. They know the shot came from the skylight. On the roof, the other man scolds Jason for somehow ruining his shot, but he wants to try again. Jason says they've been compromised and need to go. Down below, Dante thinks they can get to the roof and take off with Chase. Anna puts a call in to block off a 6-block radius, and John checks in with the FBI and orders a CSI unit. Chase returns and says the building is clear, and Dante is pursuing the suspects. On the pier, Dante catches up with the two men and orders them to freeze. The other flees, but Jason remains, and Dante orders him to turn around slowly. He's stunned to see Jason. Dante exclaims, "What the hell?" Suddenly, the other guy reappears and shoots Dante in the chest 2 times. Dante goes down and Jason rushes to him. The other guy says, "Jacobs, leave him." Dante gasps, and the man says they're going to miss the extraction. Jason tells him go to the site and he'll find another way out. The man says, "Your call, watch your 6." The man tries to fire at Jason, who is kneeling by Dante, but Jason shoots him first and takes him down. Back at the warehouse, Ava notes a bullet hole in Sonny's sleeve, and John says it confirms he was the intended target tonight. Chase takes Selena, her man, and Sonny's guards to the station. Anna asks Sonny what his plan was to draw out and identify who the shooter. She says that's not his job, it's the police department's job. Ava scoffs they haven't been doing a good job then. John asks Ava why she is here, as she hasn't been involved in organized crime in over a decade. Sonny says Ava has nothing to do with this, but John says she does now thanks to Sonny. Ava says John shouldn't be harassing Sonny but protecting him. They all argue and Anna cuts them off. Anna insists to Sonny that she's not out to get him and she doesn't want to see him die. She says he must have had an angel on his shoulder because she doesn't see how that sniper missed from this range. She knows the next time he won't. Chase returns, having dropped everyone off at the PCPD, but says Dan invitation. Lauren invites him in, and he wonders what precipitated this step forward in their relationship. Laura says Kevin is with a patient at the hospital and Ace is sick, so she couldn't leave him alone. They sit down, and Laura knows he helped Anna try and get information from the gun dealer, and she appreciates that. He admits he didn't get too much out of the guy other than he's afraid of a guy named Stone, who has convinced everyone he's dead. She knows his microphone was damaged when Heather attacked, so they couldn't get everything recorded. Cyrus asks if she's accusing him of leaving something out of his statement. He swears on his mother's life that he relayed everything the gun dealer said. He asks why she won't let herself believe him. Suddenly, Ace cries, so she has to go check on him. At the hospital, Portia and Liz go into a room to deal with Heather, who has been brought in. Heather was injured in Pentonville when the guards had to drag her away from Cyrus. She complains it flared up an old hip injury and her hip replacement, and she also has a rash on her back from the awful sheets there. She complains the cuffs they have on her are hurting her wrist and asks if they can be taken off. Portia says they have to keep her in the cuffs because it's standard procedure with an inmate. Portia finds she does have a fever, and Heather cries she's in pain. Portia says they will get her in for MRIs as soon as possible. Portia and Liz leave, and Portia orders an MRI on Heather ASAP. Portia tells Liz the sooner they get her to Pentonville, the better for everyone. Cyrus and Laura arrive with Ace in a stroller, and Laura explains to Liz and Portia that he's burning up. Portia asks why Cyrus is here. Cyrus explains he was with his sister when Ace took sick and is concerned about his great-nephew. Heather is wheeled out to go for her MRI, sees Cyrus with Laura and Ace, and yells at him to get away from her grandson. She wants to know what is wrong with Ace, and Laura says he's sick. She thinks Laura didn't help keep Esme safe because wanted Ace all to herself, and now Esme is dead. Laura assures Heather she did everything she could to help Esme and reminds her that she lost her grandson too. Heather says, well, at least there is some justice. Outraged, Laura speeds off with Ace, and Heather is taken for her MRI. Cyrus stays behind and asks Portia how her husband Curtis is doing. Portia has had a long day and she's tired, so she doesn't want to talk to him, especially about her husband. She reminds him that she told him to stay away from her. Cyrus was hoping her feelings may have changed over the past 5 months, but Portia insists she will never forgive him for terrorizing her and her daughter. She for once agrees with Heather, and he is to stay away from her child. He is sorry he's caused her this much grief and anger and hopes she can find some way to forgive him one day and see he is no longer the wretch who terrorized her family. His life today is about helping others. Portia says if he wants to help, then stay away from her family. She walks off. Heather is returned to her room and made more comfortable. Meanwhile, in the hall, Laura returns and Cyrus asks Laura about Ace. They sit down and Laura says he is getting x-rayed to rule out pneumonia, and Liz is taking care of him right now. She left because her state was making Ace upset. Laura changes the subject and asks Cyrus how he is, and she's sorry about Heather. Cyrus gets a twinge in his back, and she asks if it is because of what Sonny did to him. He says that didn't help, but the years have left its mark on him. He waxes about when he was so young he was reckless and willing to try anything, even die for what he wanted. Laura cries that must be what happened to Esme. She was willing to die to get her son, and she took Spencer with her. Cyrus puts his hand over hers as she sobs. Meanwhile, in her room, Heather has stolen a paperclip and uses it to pick the lock on her cuff. As Scout's party carries on at the Quartermain estate, Brooke Lynn finds Tracy hiding out in the kitchen and informs her that something happened with Lucy. She explains Lucy wants her to work against Tracy so she can take back control of deception. Tracy asks why Lucy thought BLQ would go along with that plan. Brooke Lynn says Lucy knows something her grandmother doesn't. Brooke Lynn confesses her scheme to get Tracy to give her all her deception stocks eventually, and then was going to turn them over to Maxie. Tracy applauds her, as that is a scheme worthy of a Quartermain, and she may live up to her potential yet. Brooke Lynn learned from the best.